so we'll go straight to the proclamation. Tonight we have a proclamation for domestic violence awareness. Hi, welcome.
Thank you. My name is Candace Cherry. I'm the Wilson County Advocate for Guadalupe Valley Family Violence Shelter. Hard to say. But I did bring some brochures for y'all to look at that have our services, and to remind you that we do have a satellite office in Floresville. So, and I wanted to thank y'all also for your continued support with helping our victims have voices. With that being said, I'm going to read the proclamation. Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month is in October, and the crime of domestic violence violates the individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity. Due to systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control and/or abuse, including abuse to children and the elderly. The problems of domestic violence are not confined to any group or groups of people, but across all economic, all racial and social barriers, and are supported by societal indifferences. And the impact of domestic violence is wide-ranging, directly affecting individuals and society as a whole. Here in this community, the Guadalupe Valley Family Violence Shelter answered 1,271 crisis calls and had 1,224 shelter days from September 2021 to August 2022. And women are not the only targets. Men, young children, and the elderly also are victims. And sadly, emotional scars are often permanent, and domestic violence costs the United States companies at least $3.5 billion in lost work time, increased healthcare costs, higher turnover, and lower productivity. And it is battered women themselves who have been in the forefront of the efforts to bring peace and equality to their home.
Therefore, I, Crystal Apple, Mayor of the City of Poth, Texas, do hereby proclaim the month of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and call all citizens, community agencies, religious organizations, medical facilities, and businesses to increase their participation in our effort to prevent domestic violence, thereby strengthening the communities in which we live. Presented this 27th day of September, 2022. Thank you for coming. Do you want a copy of that, or?
Do you want me to take that one or pick it up? I can pick it up.
It'd be better to pick it up so we can have a copy, don't you think? Yeah.
Okay, I'll come pick it up.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I guess we can do another one. Or just for our files, so we have one. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Okay, there's no citizens input, so we'll go to the consent agenda items, the minutes, financial reports, and paid invoices review and approval of the paid invoices. I didn't see anything wrong with them, but I may have missed something. If y'all saw something, please bring it up.
I agree, I didn't see anything.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda items.
Second.
All in favor?
That's right.
I did want y'all to notice that the V-tax was really good to the economic development. It was $8,527.
Was that all?
Pardon?
With tax?
The V-tax that goes to the EDC?
Yeah, so I made the typo there. I put the 27, it's actually 9. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that goes to the EDC.
Yeah.
So that was a nice
Boost.
hefty tax month. That's good. Okay. Discussion and possible action to ratify the property tax increase in the 2022-23 fiscal year budget. And there's wording because it has to be done a certain way in your packet.
We already discussed
We've
it.
discussed all of this, I know.
So I make a motion to Move to ratify the property tax increase of $7,000 in the 2022 to 2023 fiscal year budget.
Second.
All in favor? And then, public hearing and discussion and possible action of adopting the budget ordinance 091922A, making appropriations for the support of the city of Poth for fiscal year 2022 to 23. And this is your packet, and of course, we talked about all of this in workshop, and worked about wanting to have a balanced budget again, and our tax rate, which we'll adopt here in a minute, it actually goes down a little bit. But the tax rate raises $7,000 more than we had last year. If I'm saying that right? It always is confusing to me.
In the budget.
In the budget, right. And like $3,500 of that was from new buildings. But nothing's really changed. We did change a little bit on, you saw that was in your packet, moving some monies around in the court and keeping it balanced, but just trying to allow for more legal, since that's being done better. So, do we have anyone here to be in the hearing about that? Anyone speaking to that? No? Okay, well, we'll come out of the hearing and I'm looking for a motion.
Make a motion to adopt budget ordinance 091922-A.
Second, all in favor? Okay. And then, that's the ordinance. And then, adopting the actual operating budget, which I thought we just did. Wasn't that what we just did?
The EDC.
EDC operating budget.
Oh, sorry, I can't read. I see that. Yeah.
We pretty much
And
got
that
that the
was,
same as last year.
B would be the rate. Let me get to the rate. It is the same as last year?
Pretty much, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I was reading that and noticed, so it's possible that you'll have a nice surplus.
Yes. We didn't do much this year.
Yeah.
We're excited for next year.
Yes, and your town hall was excellent.
So that good?
Y'all did wonderfully.
Because
I
we
thought.
went into it, I was hoping people would write topics down and talk, and we just had the two, and I'm like, well, now what am I gonna do for
It was very well handled, and I thought the participation was great. Anyway, so now we need a motion to adopt adopting the EDC budget.
I'll make a motion to adopt the EDC budget for 2022-2023.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Now we're going to be adopting tax ordinance 091922B, levying an annual ad valorem tax, setting specific tax rate, setting due date, and providing for penalties on delinquent taxes for the use and support of the city of Poth for the 2022 tax year. And that rate is 0.196978. And it says it's an increase in the tax rate, but it's actually less. And I know it says that, but I just want to make that point. It actually went down, I can't find that note down. It was at the front of this. Yeah. Anyway, and like I said, we've talked about this a lot. So I'm looking for a motion.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 091922B, and I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of the tax rate of 0.196978, which is effectively a 3.49% increase in the tax rate.
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you. Okay, Poth Little League, city park field improvements and lights. So what do y'all want to talk about? How do you want to talk about it? What do you want?
Well, it's, we were told we just have to get approval for field renovation and stuff like that. But what we intend to do is renovate Field A. And there's a few different options we have, so kind of depending on what option we go with, there's other options within those. But it's gonna be a substantial amount of money, as little as 10 to 15,000, maybe a little more than that.
Something similar to what happened at the high school field.
I mean, the hardball and softball.
Yeah.
They've really done a fantastic job. I don't know
They
if
have.
you've seen it. Oh my gosh. Is there water on any?
There is.
There's water on all of them.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, the T-ball included.
Last year, but
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, last year we spent a lot of money
Yeah,
on
we put
blue
sprinklers
irrigation.
on A, C, and T-ball.
And I think we're still gonna add some to A.
Yeah, we gotta add a few more pretty much around infield. Up against the fence.
A is the second one when you come
It's
into
near the
park.
amphitheater.
The closest one to the amphitheater.
Oh, okay.
It's the boys' field. Yeah,
So it's the
baseball.
first, when you're coming from the pond, it's the first one on the right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then, so, I mean, we're looking at laying sod, stuff like that. We kind of ran into the same issues. It's getting later in the year to actually plant seeds, so, to have, we kind of saw what happened on the high school field. At one point, we were talking about just excavating, 8 inches or so, but
Just in the bad spots.
and that's just patching it, so we decided that we'll just till the sucker up, bring in some new soil and then some new shop soil.
Yeah, like you said, with the seed, we're getting later in the year, and so we're kind of up against the wall, with that. We thought, well, maybe kind of like what they did in high school, we'll seed the outfield, sod the infield. I don't have those numbers yet from the sod guy, but he's gonna kind of price out just to do the infield up to like the outer skin, right at past first and third.
Then they infill the work, they don't have to be all done in 1 year.
Yeah.
Like it next
And
year
then,
after that.
Yeah, and then the entire field. So I gave him the square footage, and he's just gonna, instead of him coming down and doing a bunch of work with it, I gave him the square footage, and he's just gonna kind of price it off of that.
It does seem that the soil is
It's horrible.
horrible and that it needs what has been done on the two other fields, organic matter, mulch and.
We're gonna have to add some soil too, for sure.
Yeah.
On that one, because the left field kind of drops off, I think we figured almost 3 or 4 inches. So we were looking at like a sandy loam, because it's a lot less expensive than like an enriched topsoil. So we'll kind of fill with that and then use an enriched topsoil layer on top, just to give the grass a good place to get established, basically. And
And then y'all are needing the lights because you don't have as much access to the other two fields.
Yes, with junior high,
From what I understand.
I talked to Drew Pope and Phelps. I mean, they were really hard to get a hold of lately, just on a whole bunch of issues, but I think it was about 2 to 3 weeks ago, I called him and he said that they were willing to help install. I know, who was the other guys that we? F&W, I know Buck was talking with them. I believe that Kosciuszko's ballpark, they received some lights from either Carson City or
Carson City.
And Drew said that they would be willing to help out there. Do I have a firm date on when that's gonna happen? No, I don't. But I do know with the upcoming season, with like you said, with junior high baseball and softball, we are gonna lose that. I do know, it was brought to my attention that I believe junior high baseball was practicing.
yeah, they were using our Little League fields to practice just for the room. So, and, because we'd go there and kind of get it ready for games, and they would go and practice on it, so we have to redo it. So it's just a matter of.
And when is that accomplished? Is that in the fall?
It's not really.
No, no, I'm just asking, when are they?
In the spring.
In the spring.
In the spring.
During our season.
It's gonna be the same time, and it's not anything that we won't be, the city and everybody won't be able to work with the school.
Yeah, no,
I just know that with the addition of the junior high ball, we're gonna lose spots. And we already, as well as y'all know, we kind of, we mesh our schedules as best as we can to accommodate everyone.
How many teams are playing volleyball?
We actually won.
One or two?
One or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rather than
they're
little ones?
6, 7, 8-year-olds, something like that. I think it's like an 8U team, but it's mostly like 6, 7.
Football's tough. It really is. It's a tough one.
Oh, I think so too.
It really
With
is.
football and everything
Yeah.
going on. and-
But it would be nice to have, you know, decent lighting in replacing the one on Field C completely because they're too low, as y'all know, to actually too late at night.
And we do have some of the companies for those bases, the concrete, I don't know if you've, the light poles that are behind, that are laying there.
Those we got from Karn City
Yep.
or Kennedy.
Yes.
And it should be enough to accommodate
You
all the
have to
fields.
buy a concrete base. I don't know, you know, I guess it depends on how tall they are, is how deep that base is, but it's a hollow concrete structure that you bury, and the poles just slide right on top of that.
Uh-oh.
So I think Nick has a company that he took some pictures of the tags on some of the other ones from Karn City and stuff that,
So we could use the poles that Kennedy gave us.
yes, you just have to buy the bases.
By the bases, okay.
They probably just left them
Yeah,
in the
the
ground.
Yeah.
They didn't excavate those up.
No.
The thing is, you won't buy the bases, they'll have to build it in the ground. And basically, they'll drill a big hole with auger, they'll set rebar and stuff in it, then they'll pour concrete. In other words, that cylinder holds the concrete, they'll build a concrete pillar. What it does is, you have a concrete truck comes out there and fills in the hole, basically.
Okay.
It's set to all thread bolts to be able to bolt those. It's highly expensive, so we just need to find out what it
Those
costs.
poles aren't screwed to a base. They slide over. Those are different from the ones that,
Then they slide over, so that's the
They
new,
slide over.
the new
yeah, it's just
technique.
a big cylinder and they slide right on top of it.
That's even easier, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of digging a hole, setting that concrete, it's a preformed
So you buy the
concrete.
form, you buy the concrete
Yes.
pole. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure they have a spec on it.
You're right.
The biggest thing right now is to get with Phelps to do a line design, because we're maxed out at the concession stand, they're gonna have to set another transformer and another meter loop right there to accommodate that field. Possibly both of them, really.
So we need to set up a meeting with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't, what is the issue with C? What's the issue with the lights there? I know, is there just a few bulbs out?
Well,
No,
they're
low.
obsolete.
They're
Well,
not
yeah,
tall.
they're too low.
Yeah, they're too low, but they're 1,000-watt candid lights, just like a regular screw in light bulb. And they're basically out, there's no replacements for them.
Everybody's gone to LED.
Can we get LEDs for those?
Well, if we're gonna take the poles down and not tall enough, it's
Okay.
just a waste of time.
I think there's, what, 8 or 9 poles laying on the ground over there?
Yeah, we can get more, we just need to figure out what we
Really?
need.
I think that's enough for both fields.
4 per field.
Because one of them has double layers.
Yeah.
And maybe buy one pole and take that layer off. Because as it was, the lights on C they're pretty good. I mean, it lights that field up pretty good. So if we get them higher, I think 4 on each field.
Yeah, because I was thinking, somebody said that one of the outfields is pretty dark. I don't know which side.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah, it's just a matter of positioning those lights. Once we get them up higher,
Right,
you know.
okay,
And I'm sure you can tilt them.
probably so. Okay, so you're wanting to put in 8 poles, basically, is
Yes,
what I'm
ma'am.
hearing you say. Okay.
Nothing on the T-ball, just on the.
Yeah, just baseball.
Yeah, those kids.
No. Even though that's our largest enrollment.
I know, because they all, it's so
That's our
fun.
largest
It's so
enrollment.
fun. Okay, so we need 8 poles. On 2 fields. Okay,
I mean, if y'all set up a meeting with Phelps and discuss it with them,
find out what they can do.
find
Yep,
out what they can do,
and then we'll get back with you
that'd be great.
as soon as possible.
So Drew's aware
Yeah,
that
and
this is going on.
he is helpful. He really
He
has
is.
been
He really
a
is.
helpful guy.
He is, he really is.
You know, when that pole got pulled off or fell off of Tom's, next to Tom's building, he came and helped us haul meat out of that place, well, because there was, you know, no electricity.
Wow.
We had to get all that meat, and Drew helped us.
So,
So, nice guy. Yep, okay, well, yes, but,
I talked to Sherman about it, but We could, like we did that football field on the other side, we could possibly, we can get the okay that I can get some bids, we could possibly build another Little League field
Over there?
on this side on Meckle Street. Mecco and Coy Street right there in that corner. I think there's enough that we can build another small Pee Wee field that can be utilized for both the intermediate Little League and the small ones. Just need to put some dirt in, need to put some crunching numbers together because we need to utilize that property over there. And I think that'd be a good idea if we could do that.
But we need to make it the right size, because that's the problem.
Yeah, you'd have to,
They're
I
none
would
of them
say
are right.
absolutely, you would want one that was actually
Yeah, because
Little League.
as we sit right now, like with those lights on the sea, we can't hold like Little League sanctioned tournaments.
I know.
We could do little stuff within our district, you know, with Floresville, Nixon, stuff like that on Saturdays or something like that. But for it to count,
The fencing on A, the dimensions for that pushes it across the
road.
The road, almost up to the high school.
we're at, I think it's at 160 something and you need 200. So, and I tried to turn it every which way you can. And it's
Yeah, I remember when Donald was here, he was always trying to figure that out too, to help him.
What about doing a green giant, making a fence go all the way up? So, yeah, if y'all just keep us
Okay,
posted about that, but we'd like to
Yeah.
kind of get started on that.
We want you to do what you need to do.
Does the city still have a maintainer?
Yeah,
If we bring in a bunch of dirt, do you think somebody could help spread it?
yeah, we got a maintainer also, we got a blade we can put on our skid steer. That'd probably be the
Perfect.
easiest to go ahead and blade that.
That would be better.
Don't rip the fence out.
And do we have an aerator of any sort? No?
No, we
There's a
look,
company that we use,
we've
they're
been
fairly
using,
cheap.
yeah, we've been using them, I guess, the last 2 years for supplements and maintenance and stuff like that. They came and shaved off the hump on a few of them and reset bases. They did quite a bit of work. And then they were coming back for a fertilizer program and herbicide program. And I think we decided this year we're gonna kind of try to take that on ourselves to save a little money. We found another guy here in the community stepped up and said that he's got contacts at all these big companies and he can get a discount on a lot of that stuff.
Nice.
So, and he's a horticulture major, so
That's nice.
that helps,
That
yeah.
does help.
So that'll be saving us several $1,000s a year.
Right.
But we'll still use them for aeration. That's the
Refurbishing,
Yeah,
retopping.
yeah.
Do y'all have any questions for him or anything? Do you have
I'm
anything
sure
else?
you know.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Okay,
Thank
well,
y'all for
thank
your
you.
time.
I will
You bet.
definitely
We'll
pursue
see
this
you.
with Phelps, for sure.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Oh, we do need to have a motion, wait, is that, yes, a motion to allow them to do the work on the fields that they need to do.
Make a motion, allow them to do the work they need on the field.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Okay. It's good. Street closures, so for Halloween, the PTO Halloween thing, they want to close Dixon between Brinkader and Chambers. So that's basically along the cafeteria, right, down to,
Between the junior high gym and the cafeteria.
The one for
well,
the
that's
CC
right.
Brinkader, that's Brinkader from Dixon to Titcomb. But they also want to close Titcomb between Brinkader and Schneider, so that's like in between the CCD building and the junior high gym. And then run from, they're closing more area this year, so that, I guess, just kind of controls parking better, or what?
Yeah, because they're wanting to close
Dixon,
towards the cafeteria.
Past the
Where
cafeteria.
Yeah, towards the cafeteria there.
it's Brinkader to Chambers, that's down by the old ag building.
Yeah, it's gonna go like zigzag.
Yeah, like a big zigzag, yeah, see. Okay, so just so everybody's kind of clear, clear as mud, do you understand where the, yeah, okay. So it's from 3 to 8 on Saturday the 29th. Motion.
Make a
motion.
vote.
Closers for helping.
Okay,
Who made the motion, you did?
What?
Who made the motion?
and he'll second it? I'm all in favor. Great, thank you. Renew mobile light right-of-way and pole attachment. That's our leaning tower of Poth. Right there. Have you ever seen the leaning tower of Poth? No?
Well, what is that?
It's a mobile, it's this agreement here.
Yeah.
That's a pole that has a bunch of things attached to it, networks and whatnot. It's right there at Chambers and Dixon.
So what does it actually do?
I don't know. But we're not able to keep them from coming with when they put it in. But it does hold, it has different mobile things on it. You've seen that, I'm sure.
You seen that, it's never do it before. Internet.
Yeah, internet probably and mobile telephone and things like that. So anyway, we have a
And they do pay us $250 a year.
250.
Can't spend all at one place.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve that, renew the right-of-way attachment agreement.
I make a motion to renew mobile light right away and pole attachment agreement.
All in favor? Thank you. This is a grant application for the Poth Police Department. Chief, would you like to talk about it?
The grant that we want to get, it's from the governor's office, and it's for ballistic shields. What happened in Uvalde, the governor decided, a lot of agencies didn't have some shields to go in, so he had about a $50 million grant that throughout the state of Texas, we have it, and Lieutenant Stephen Moore applied for it, and we did get we got a quote from the United Shield, and it came out to over $27,000. We don't have to pay anything out of it. It's a grant through the governor's office, and it's going to be a 21 by 30. It's going to have a viewport in the front, and it's going to have some LED lights coming down where you can see, right? And it's going to have the handles. So it's going to be about 23 pounds. So it's going to be pretty heavy for us to be carrying, on the side. So a lot of agencies are taking advantage of it. Today is the deadline, which the mayor came in this morning and she approved it, and Lieutenant Moore has it now. So we're just waiting for the signature to be honest.
So I need a motion to approve the submission of the grant.
I'll make a motion to approve the submission of the grant for the police department.
All in favor? Thank you. He has a copy of this with my signature? You do? Okay. Thank you. Go ahead and make your report. Sure.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilors. For the month of August, we had 62 calls for service, 62 written reports on spillment. Traffic enforcements, we conducted 133 traffic stops, 101 citations were issued, and 71 warnings were issued. Non-traffic enforcements, within that traffic enforcement, we had 13 citations. You can see we had 5 possessions of tobacco products by minors, 6 possession of drug paraphernalia, and 2 thefts under $100. And our city ordinance, we had 2 citations, 1 dog running at large and 1 junk vehicle. A total of 116 citations were given to the courts for their review. For our code enforcement animal control, we had a total of 8 city ordinance violations, and you can see down at the bottom we had 4 animal controls. 1 city ordinance, which was a curfew violation after hours at the park, which we advised them to close at 11 o'clock. 2 juveniles down on Dixon Street were out after the curfew. We advised them curfews at 11. We talked to their family members, which they were good about it, and they were just issued warnings. We had one dog running at large and one junk vehicle citations, and one impound animal. On the second page, we had a total of 4 arrests, and you can see the arrests we had. We had 2 wanted persons, which are, they made traffic stops and they came out that they were wanted. And then 1 possession of a controlled substance, and marijuana, and 1 possession of a controlled substance, and another marijuana. So, had a total of 4 arrests for the month of August.
You have any questions for the chief? Thank you. Appreciate your work. We have the tax report. Pretty much hit our budget on the elections with the delinquent and the penalty, not so much. So that's for August. We still have 1 more month, right? September? That doesn't look too much. I don't know. Judge Kennedy.
Good evening. I have submitted to each of you a little report, a narrative as well as the numbers. And I meant to also make a copy of the one from August. If you look at the last page, it says 6,399 collected. In August, it was 3,034. Basically, I just wanted to thank you for entrusting me with the responsibilities of the office. It's an honor to serve the city of Poth and to work with the city staff, the council, and the mayor. I've hired a new clerk. We talked about that a little bit last time. Her name is Ms. Janie Garza of Lavernia. She's a former legal assistant for a local attorney. She has worked close to 20 hours per week to help accommodate all the backlog, data entry, filing, and collections for all the citations written by our police department. They're really doing a good job. Ms. Garza has been a tremendous help getting the office into a justifiably good working order. We have made great progress and we work well together. She is very detail-minded, she's good with numbers, and has great organization skills, which is super helpful. We're still learning all of the ins and outs of the software system. We have finally learned who our software representative is, and they're working with us on a daily basis if need be. We're no longer using the handwritten receipts that used to be used, very generic. We now give each person a computer-generated receipt with all of the information already on it, which is going to save us a lot of time in the long run. Hopefully, our filing system will be more efficient as well. We are coordinating with the chief to be more intentional about our warrants and to participate hopefully in February and March of next year with the Texas Warrant Roundup. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that or not. They advertise on television, they advertise on the radio, and people who know they have warrants out for unpaid tickets, unpaid things like that, they'll go, oh no. Because when they do warrant roundup, the police officers can go to their place of business, their home or whatever, and it's just a real concentrated effort to get those warrants taken care of and hopefully eliminate some of the backlog and get people to get their things
So
done.
Judge, does that encourage them to come and do that before they get rounded up?
Yes.
That's good.
And the city does not have to pay for all of that advertisement. So if you do it during that time and everybody's a little on edge, it's a really good thing. And so we're in the process of getting all of our warrants alphabetically organized instead of by number, because when you organize by number, you could have, one person with 12 warrants and you wouldn't know because they're not organized by name. So that's one of the things we'll be working on as well. In accordance with the 6th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution for the right to a speedy and public trial, we have had 3 pre-trial sessions with the city attorneys, and we've cleared the backlog of defendants requesting pre-trial hearings. So far, we have 4 people who are awaiting a bench trial, and that bench trial is scheduled for November 17th. On the county side of things, I know the JP office, we have pre-trial every month, but the county has county attorneys who come on a regular basis and they're not paid by the hour, whereas the city doesn't have a full-time attorney just for the city. So every time the attorneys have to come from San Antonio, they charge mileage, they charge time, and it's just a different pay scale, it's a different fee schedule than it is for the county. And so we needed to do it at least 2 or 3 in a row to get caught up on the backlog, and we've done that. And so going forward, instead of having pretrial every month, we're going to have it every other month. And it'll be on the odd number of months, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, which comes out to be November, January, March, May, July, and September. And then whenever there is a need for a bench or jury trial, those will be scheduled in a similar manner. And the Justice of the Peace Office across the street will accommodate the bench trials between now and December. And the expected incoming JP, he's already agreed that we could still use that facility in the future as well, so that we don't have to create a backlog and a lot of traffic here in this area. Whenever we do have 3 pre-trials, we just reconfigure the carpeted area. I have a screen to give a little bit of privacy, and then we have the chair set up so people who are waiting can, all be accommodated. And I appreciate Rose and Misty, being patient with us, because it does get full. People really appreciate that opportunity to be heard, and I think that's real important that we accommodate that. We'll also be applying for training grants and technology and security grants, just like the police department finds out about these things. As I become more familiar with this position and I get to work with the Texas Municipal League and the Educational Center for the Justice for the Municipal Courts, I'm hoping to be more aware of those things that are available. So again, if you guys hear of any that are coming up or available, please let me know and we can make application for those.
Do you have any questions for the judge? Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. Can you move forward?
Before we get started, Mayor, Council, Rose, if you look at the numbers right here, you can see that we build 16 million gallons and we produce 10.5. So that's telling me that either our staff is miscalculated the meter or that meter is not working properly. So there's no way that we sold 16 million gallons of water when it produced 10. Otherwise, in other words, we'll be out of water. So that's something I will investigate, and I will bring it forward to our next month's meeting. Try to get the justification for that and the reason why. So them numbers are way off, and I just now caught it when I looked at the packet, because I don't know what the gallons bill until after I just submit my paperwork. So that's going to be inaccurate. If you look at the maximum pump, 1.1 million gallons on just one day, so that's probably a little bit more accurate. But let me investigate that, and I have more information for you. But moving on to the wastewater plant, we took in 4.4 million gallons of water. The average gallon per day is 127,000. The maximum gallon per day is 279, and the minimum is 117. If you look at our numbers from 2021, they're pretty close to being average of last year. Irrigation, we on all three fields is 559,000 on field 1. Field 2 is 381,000. Field 3 is 434,100. A total of 1.3 million gallons of water we discharged for irrigation. Pond level's about 75, give or take. Your BOD numbers, you look at Pond 1 and Pond 4, they're both at 32. That's telling that our BODs are starting to come down a little bit. The pH on Pond 1 is 8.35 and Pond 4 is 9.05, which meets the minimum for our required pH. Going back to the wastewater plant, recalls and fixing to purchase water from the city starting on Thursday. We've been trying to build Pond 4. 6 months ago when we tried to do this, we had plenty of water. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna blame it on recall. They drug their feet, and I can't hold that kind of water, so we discharge a lot of it. So now they want water, so they're gonna have to be patient. We've been pumping 24/7 since Wednesday last week, so we should have an adequate amount of water. They will be pumping water from the Des Moines irrigation well that's 6 miles away, and they'll be dumping it in Pond 4. So actually Pond 4 will be the staging area for this well they're fracking, also for the future wells in our area, which will be, I think they said another 2 or 3 more. Don't know where they're marked or where they're gonna be located. So,
That's not gonna be any problem with
No.
QCDQ?
you know, it's a designated pond for industrial use. So,
We're drilling fresh water to sell the recall?
no,
I thought you said you were pumping.
they're for fracking. We can't sell them any kind of recyclable or reuse water or reclaimed water for actual drilling because of the water tables. But once they set pipe and set their destination, we can be able to sell that reclaimed water, because by that time they done sealed off the piping for offset the water tables. So basically, fresh water to drill with, but they can use reclaimed water to frack with. It's two different concepts.
We're just selling the reclaim.
We're selling the reclaim,
Okay.
correct.
But didn't you say that some of the moist water is being dumped into Pond 4?
There will be, yes.
Okay, so that will be fresh water added to that.
And it will be metered. They already got 2 pumps set, and that then will be metered. So before they dump moist, they will pump all the water and they will log that meter. So whatever that is, then they'll go ahead and charge it more. It's going to take quite a bit of water to refrac. It ain't like it used to be back in the old days. But it's going to take about 150,000 barrels of water, or something like that.
Closer to
Pretty close.
400,000 barrels.
So how long do you think that'll be going on?
Approximately about roughly 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks. So,
But that's just for one well, and
Just
then
for one well.
they're gonna do more wells, is what you're saying?
and I told them, Joe, their landman, I said, you need to give me a heads up way before you drill, way before you start fracking, so I can start saving water and start storing water for you.
Where does the water, so you're storing it, and you said you let it go, where does it go?
Our irrigation, if you look at the deal.
Irrigation, okay, on the fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a discharge permit to go
No.
down the creek.
Yeah, I was
Don't
went
want
down the river.
Is it, going to the cooling tower aerator, talked to the mayor, we got 2 things that we're trying to complete the aerators with cooling towers. Is basically the painting. We had to do some negotiation with Roy Garrett and Marley to get the piping painted, so we got that discussed. They're gonna start painting the piping to the aerator, which we don't want to charge it up until they get that completed. Plus also, there's an oil pan that we need to have installed over there. The reason being, all the other aerators, we use food grade oil to run the gearboxes. But if we use food grade oil for the new aerator, it'll void the warranty. So it's got to be regular industrial hydraulic oil to work the pump. So that's why we need an oil pan to be able to trap that oil if it was anything, was the seal breaker, anything like that. So it wouldn't contaminate the water in the tanks. So hopefully that'll be installed in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be stainless steel. So basically they got to purchase the stainless steel and build it. So it's probably an oil pan about as big as that table. Then they'll install it underneath the 50 horsepower in the gearbox. The paving is to be completed by tomorrow. There's got a few more streets to do. You see that North Dixon, we did the concrete on that, so we're going to hot mix both ends of that to get it tied in where it'd be straightened up. That'll be done by Wednesday. So we're trying to get that scheduled as of today. So that's going to be hot mix to be able to tie that in. Park is just trying to stay with the mowing, trying to keep up with it. Now the rain slowed down, so now we're pretty much caught up with the mowing.
How's Reggie's classes going on?
Sir?
How's Reggie's classes?
He's working on them. Hopefully he'll be able to test by the end of next month. So on one of them. So it's a big push trying to keep that going. We're one employee down. Mike Barnes resigned, went on to obtain another job. I did hire another individual. His name is Ross party. He'll start in October 1 or October 3rd, actually. It's just got to get the deal and take his drug test and get him submitted that and be able to get that going. So we do have an employee to be able to take his place October 3rd.
We put that parking lot at the league, is that no?
That's part of the pavement project. They're not done with it. There's still a lot of blemishes, a lot of things. That's one thing they're going to be working on.
That's what I'm
It's a big improvement.
Sorry?
It's a big improvement.
Yeah. Yeah, we just, it's going to be a big improvement. It's going to be nice, but when you do parking lots like that, when you start moving all the machines out, they tear it up just as much as they're trying to do. So there'd be a lot of blemishes they got to do some repairs on. But hopefully by the end of tomorrow, they'll have that done.
Do they strike them?
If we have the money, we've got to strike them.
We've had discussion about that. What do y'all think about that? Because people sort of follow whoever gets there first. You know, either against the fence or away from the fence or whatever.
I don't think it needs to be striped personally, but
You don't?
I'm just cheap.
No, well, I'm just asking.
Just get really dusty, so it's a big improvement.
Yeah, it's a big improvement. And the gravel that's piled up there, will that be gone?
Yeah, we're gonna move all that. A lot of that'll be gone by tomorrow, whatever excess is, we'll move that along with that base material. We'll get all that cleaned up before anything happens. So,
Do I have any other questions? Thanks, Bud.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think we've about covered everything. Just to let y'all know, the market day on October 1st is going to be on the plaza because of the conflict with the school cross-country. It's right there, cross-country. And so we're going to bring some picnic tables over for the trucks that are going to be here. And so, just FYI. I don't think, oh, the TML convention is October, I think it's 4th through the 7th. 7th, I don't know exactly the right dates, but you've got an invitation there from somebody for a room, and then also Gatlin invited us to the Republic happy hour, social time, whatever, at their booth. And I don't remember. Do you remember what night that, or what day that is? Yeah, it's not in there. No, it wasn't in mine. Anyway,
It would be one of those times.
it'll be something like that. When is that? That's on Thursday? I think theirs is on Friday.
Well, I saw that one
Oh, you did?
somewhere. Might have been in.
I don't know. Okay, well, that's all. I just wanted to let you know. So we are adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.